have connectivity. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Well, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us at the demo stage. My name is Trevor Grant, and I work with CanduraInstruments, providing business development, as well as power quality consulting and power quality training. I am pleased to share a little bit about CanduraInstruments that has been involved in the design and manufacture and support of portable power monitoring instruments for well over a dozen years. And we are proud that we have a number of very broad sector of clients, not only in Ontario, in Canada, but also globally. We work with Hydro One, PowerStream, Horizon. We work with BC Hydro. We have units that are in England. We have units in the Panama Canal. And so we are very proud that we serve a global market from our operations out of Oakville, Ontario. We really feel that we are meeting the Ontario LDC's needs for portable power monitoring. There was a recent OEB requirement to do a special stray voltage testing. We've been able to use some special adders to our basic power quality instruments. We have a new power quality measurement platform, which is called the PQ Pro. And we've introduced this just under a year ago. And we have now provided an additional capability. I can't compete with the high-powered microphone. So what we've done, we've developed a new power quality platform, which is called the PQ Pro, which has some very, very interesting capabilities, which I'll talk about in a moment. One of the things about Candura's high-performance instrumentation and software, safety. All our instruments are Cat 4 600-volt CSA certified. And many of the LDCs are insisting that this certification be in place. Ruggedness. All of our instruments are in a Pelican-style case. They are used routinely outdoors. Hydro One sometimes hang them from utility poles, and they survive both high temperature as well as low temperature. Sometimes they are put in a minus 30-degree environment. They are also self-powered, so you don't need to find a 120-volt outlet to be able to power the instruments. And that's one of the reasons why we were able to hang them from utility poles. They derive their power directly from the measured voltage. Ease of use. We sometimes say throw away the manual. We don't quite mean that. But the idea is that the way that the instrument is designed is such that it's a very intuitive control panel that allows you to scroll through the setup menus in a simple and very intuitive fashion. So it's rare that you need to use the manual to be able to set up, especially for a complex instrument like our power quality monitor. Local technical support. We design and manufacture directly from our Oakville office. I'm in London, Ontario, and I provide consulting services. I also provide power quality training courses, wherein I would come to your facilities to provide training in your setting so that it's very convenient for you. This slide just shows some of the basic instruments that Candura offers. To the left is our energy monitor. It's a very low-cost device that is used by many LDCs to provide energy use profiles for the OPA's energy conservation programs. Actually, London Hydro has a lending library where they have about 21 of these devices that they loan to multiple LDCs. It's very easy to use. You can provide them to your industrial customers, and they can set them up, take the data, provide the data to your energy management consultants, and they would then be able to take that information and prepare the applications for the OPA for incentives. The instrument in the middle top is our kind of precursor to the new model. That's our Power Pro. That's a power quality analyzer. The instrument to the right top is our new advanced PQ Pro power quality analyzer. And we'll speak a little bit about one of the features of that analyzer shortly. The unit to the left bottom is what we call a meter-based adapter, actually the 3 to the left bottom. And one of the things that we learned through our experience in working with LDCs is that they always wanted to make measurements at the meter base. One of the problems with trying to do an investigation in a residential home is that in order to do any monitoring, the meter techs typically would have to go inside the home and go into the service panel, open up the service panel, and then connect an instrument to the L1, L2 feeds from the meter base to that service panel. And then if they wanted to do any long-term monitoring, they would have to leave their instruments, cordon off the area with yellow tape, and hope that an over-enthusiastic teenager isn't going to get himself hurt. And what we decided to do is to build what we call a meter-based adapter. So what you would do is you would take the meter base, or the meter off of the base, put this adapter onto the base, and then you put the meter back so you're still tallying revenue. And then you would route this umbilical cord through this hole in this enclosure. You would then locate your power monitor inside the enclosure, and you can then close the enclosure up and tie it using this lock that you cannot actually cut with a bolt cutter, and secure this to the conduit, so that you would have an installation environment that looks somewhat like this. And if we can get a close-up of this, where you have this enclosure with the monitor inside the enclosure, the meter-based adapter connecting the signals to a high-performance monitor, and thereby allow you to take power quality measurements at the meter base without actually encroaching into your customer's facility. We have this for a 2S style meter as well as for a 16S style meter. And we've had really good success, and it's been embraced very well by many of the LDCs in Ontario and throughout Canada. So what I'd like to do is to take a few minutes to talk about our dual-purpose platform. The power quality instrument that we've introduced has some very unique capabilities. As all of our instruments, they're CSA 600 volt Cat4 certified. They take power from the measured voltage, so you don't need to find a 120 volt plug to be able to power the instrument. Very easy to use, intuitive design, where it has this instrument has a color screen, and it has a very simple push button arrangement to allow you to operate the instrument. And one of the very unique features that this instrument has is it has a continuous waveform recording feature. With most power quality instruments, what one would do is would set up a storage interval, say a 1 second interval, 5 seconds, or 10 second storage interval. And while the monitor would look at every single cycle, it would store data at the established storage interval. And with respect to event capture, one would set a threshold for currents and also for voltages, so that if the current exceeds a certain threshold, it would trigger an event, and you would store an event record. One of the challenges with that traditional approach is that sometimes you're trying to investigate an issue and you really don't know whether it's a voltage transient or whether it's a current transient. And in that case, you're not sure whether you need to set up a particular threshold level. So what this instrument does, it allows you to record every single cycle, 256 samples per cycle, on a continuous basis. The instrument uses a memory card, an SD memory card, which is 4 gigabytes to 32 gigabytes, and we're about to introduce a capability to, with a special extended continuous waveform monitoring, where we use a 64 gig memory card as well as a 128 gig memory card. So you never miss anything. You store every single cycle, but we always say, be careful what you ask for, because if you ask for every single cycle, you will get a lot of data. 64 gigabytes worth of data is a lot of data to crunch through, but we use our software package to be able to analyze that data in a simplified form, and we have each of the memory, each of the records in half a gigabyte size, so you can actually use that, our software to open that particular data record. So the other capability that this instrument provides, because it has a Bluetooth capability, we've been able to design a cross-phase analyzer using the same instrument. And this is one of the things that many LDCs in Ontario are really embracing. We have a single high-performance platform that is used for power quality analysis as well as for cross-phase analysis. So what we've designed is an enclosure that allows you to take the instrument. We have a tablet that the software to run the cross-phase analysis program is loaded. You don't need to use our tablet. If you have a tablet or a PC with Bluetooth capability, you can load the software on your PC. It's a very simple program, and we have all of the accessories required to perform the cross-phase analysis function. Some of the key things included in the package is that we have our CTs that are connected to the secondary side of your instrument CTs. We use our fused voltage leads to be able to make the connections to the voltage connection points on your meter test block. We also have what's called typically the pig's nose to allow you to connect to the communications port so you can get your pulse outputs. If you only have a meter style that uses an IR signal, then you can wrap this around the meter and you can point this to the pulse output. Or if you want to do a manual check, then you have a manual push button system that you can use. So this instrument gives you the capability of connecting also to, where do we have? We have these to allow you to connect into the CT test block so that you can take measurements on by just interjecting into the CT secondary. I'd like to talk a little bit about the program. What we have is a very simple system that allows you to do your cross-phase analysis. So we have 4 basic tests. We have the phasor test, the CT ratio test, the Watts or VAR registration test, and also the interval billing test. The CT ratio or the phasor test allows you to look at your phasors. We're not connected to anything, so we don't see any phasors here. But you can add reference phasors to the system so that you can confirm that your phasor diagram is exactly as you're expecting. Once you've completed the test, what you do is you save that test to your report, and then you get an indication that that particular test is completed. You then move on to the next test, which allows you to do a CT ratio check. So what we do is we have these secondary CTs that allow you to take the measurements. Where are we? On the secondary side of your CT, and then we have a single flex CT to allow you to make a single measurement on the primary side. You also have the ability to use what's called a light wire that connects to the medium voltage side if you wanted to do a CT ratio check. And that's one of the unique features where we would provide a special interface from the light wire output to the back of our instrument to be able to do a CT ratio check. So once we start that particular test, we do it one phase at a time, phase A. So we would connect the flex CT, or you can use a clamp CT to the primary side. The low current CT would measure the CT secondary currents, and you would start that particular test. In this case, we don't have anything connected, so we get an error message, which we can ignore, and then you get that particular set of data. So once you've done the same thing for phase B and for phase C, and here I'm just going to ignore the test, then you can save that test to report. The result of this is that you actually end up with a cross-phase analysis system that produces a report in PDF form. So the PDF is stored on this tablet. You can then connect a USB stick to this, export the PDF report to the USB, and then you take that output and then connect it to your IT system. Many of the utilities say that they don't want a cross-phase analyzer that has software that is tied to their IT system. A number of utilities have had a great deal of difficulty with that. So what we've done is we've developed this with an independent tablet, so one doesn't have to deal with your IT department. It's a fully functional Windows 7-based tablet, but we have only the functionality for our instrument. So really, just to summarize, CanduraInstruments really offers this particular instrument, which is our flagship right now. It offers high potential and high performance power quality analysis, as well as what we call meter-based or meter installation verification or cross-phase analysis. So you actually get two instruments for the price of one. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to address them. But what I would like to invite you to do is to come to our booth, where we will give you a demonstration in aisle 400. Thank you very much.